Welcome to GME Admin Insights. I'm your host, Natasha, and I'm here with you, and I am glad that you are here with me. So, you know, let's talk about it, okay? I just want to talk about this. I had a coaching session the other day, and um, it and I've talked with a couple of people, and it just kind of amazes me that and I see that this is and I'm stuttering because it's like, wow, I did not know that a lot of people did not know. And I have my notes here. So because I was just so dumbfounded, right? I was just so taken back. I was just so in awe, that a lot of people didn't know how they saw themselves. What do I mean when I say that? How do you see yourself? I mean, not just like how do you see yourself? It could be personally, it could be professionally, it could be as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, as an aunt, as a niece. Like, how do you see you? How do, like for me, how do I see Natasha? Right. And a lot of people didn't know how to describe how they saw themselves. And I was at awe. Right. And I think this is one of the main reason why I love doing coaching because I love for people to really examine themselves and really to think about them. So many times we think about other people. We think about our jobs. We think about our family. We think about our kids. We think about our, spouse. We think about our mother or just we think about other people. And yeah, we talk about wellness and I'm going to think about myself and I'm going to do this. But when you're doing that, I'm going to go and get me a massage. I'm going to go get my feet done. I'm just going to go and read a book today. I'm not going to do anything, no laundry. I'm going to get my nails and I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to just do me because it's my wellness. But who are you? But did you ever stop to think about you, as in the person, as in you? How do you see you? Okay. How would you describe you? I want you to take a moment and just maybe really think about and reflect, and maybe even write down how you would describe you. Take that moment, pause, pause this, think about it if you have to. Or when you can, think about how you would describe you. And I'm not talking about, a mini bio or something like that. I'm not talking about that. You as the person, break it down. Describe you as the person, describe you as the professional, describe you as your personal life, right? How would you describe you? What do you want to achieve? And you can break that down in all three categories. What do you want to achieve personally in your life? What do you want to achieve professionally in your life? What do you want to achieve in general? Right? These are the things that you need to think about. Like, think about this. So, when I was talking to somebody that I coach, and she really couldn't describe it. I mean, like, we spent a lot of time trying to go over her, how she saw herself. Like, this, she couldn't describe herself. So we had to go back in time to come forward. So that way she can give a description of herself and then a description of herself professionally, right? So take that time for you to figure out how you see yourself. How would you describe you personally and then professionally? That will open up a lot of doors on what you need to do and where you need to go. It will. Because once you truly know you, then sky's the limit. The sky is truly the limit because who's going to stop you? I know me. Who's going to stop you? That's like, I know my worth. Who's going to stop me? No one. I know me. I know my worth. I know what I can achieve. I know what I need and what I don't need. So that's one thing that, we talked about. So I said, you know what? I need to bring this to my community because as we continue to grow within GME, as GME continues to grow, as we continue to put more and more, on our shoulders, our workload, our responsibilities, what we have to do, we still need to be true to ourselves. We need to know us, right? We need to know us. So this is the homework that I gave her. So I want to share, it with you. I want you to think about this and I want you to do this homework for yourself because everything you do, whether it's personally, professionally, whatever, everything you do starts with you. So write down what's important to you. And if you need to make two columns, do so. If you need to make one that is personal and then professional, then you do that. But write down what is important to you. So we were on a professional journey. So within the world of GME, we know that it's so big and it's so broad. So I was like, okay, write down as a program coordinator as it pertains to you and you only, and where you want to go and where you want to be. Write down what's important to you. But you have to really think about what is important to me. What's important to you? Is it growth? Is it money? Is it salary? Is it flex date? Is it whatever it is? And this is on the professional track, right? And you, like I said, you could do it on the personal, but we were on a professional track. So what's important to you? Write it down. Really think about that. I mean, and this is not something that, okay, 3 minutes later, you got a list. You really have to think about what's important to you. Where's your life right now? Who's in it? What you want out of it? And what's important to make sure either you get there or you don't sacrifice like family time or, you don't sacrifice, just different things. So really reflect on what's important to you. I know what's important to me. So think about that. And then write down where you see yourself, whether it's 5, 10, 2 years from now, right? When you think about what's important to me, what you won't sacrifice, what you can sacrifice, what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, what's important to you. And then, okay, so all of these things are important to me, but in 2 or 5 years from now, I see myself here. Are you compromising what's important to you to get there? Right? These are things that I don't think really people understand. Like, I mean, you have to figure these things out. You can't grow if you don't know where you want to go. You can't grow if you don't know what you want to grow to, right? So we know we're in GME. GME is growing. We're always doing something and we're just doing and we're just doing, right? But we don't want to be that mouse on that wheel just going, going, going. We got to step off the wheel, think about, okay, the wheel is cool, but I'm tired of the wheel. I don't want to be on the wheel anymore. I want to make sure that I'm getting my rest and relaxation. I want to make sure. So you got to think about you in order to see where you're going to be, where you want to be 2, 5, 10 years from now. And then, of course, you always have to write it out. You got to write it out. You got to plan this thing out because once you plan it out, you see what you're missing, what you need to do to continue to take you there. This is another this just made me think about a coaching session I had 2 weeks ago where um one of my students, she was just like, I'm trying to be this, 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 and this, and this. I'm like, okay, so what do you need to do that? Well, see, I'm working and I'm working and I'm working and I'm getting these and I'm in people's faces and I'm trying to and I'm making myself seen. Okay, But have you looked up that job? Have you looked up that job description? No. Okay. I don't you think you need to figure out what specifically you need to do in order to align yourself with that specific job? Oh, yeah, I guess I do. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up a random job description in what you want to be. Okay. Here's a list. Do you have these? Now, of course, you got your soft skills and your hard skills that you can align them to. Oh, baby. It says that you must have a master's. Okay. So what you gonna do? Are you going or not? Well, I think my degree and my skills, and you're right, but you don't have to continue to spin the wheel to do all of this extra work in order to get where you need to be if you know you can align this stuff up correctly to ensure that you get this job. Why work harder? You have the skills, soft and hard. You have a bachelor's, you already have that. Why would you continue running on the rat race when you can just line all of this stuff up together and submit your stuff? So you have to come out of the hole and just realign, realign. But you can only do that if you know what's important to you. I tell people all the time, you don't have to be in that rat race. You don't have to, oh, I got to do this. I have to do this. Let me do that report. Mm-mm. Nope. Less is more for me. I work smarter and not harder. And if that's what I need to do, if that's what I can just gather this up, here you go. Present yourself, your skills, the facts, all that other stuff you don't have to do. You don't have to make sure, you shucking and jiving. You don't have to make sure you in people's face and oh. I mean, believe me, don't get it wrong. Yes, it's good to be seen and to get noticed. Number one, absolutely, absolutely. But also, you have the backing. You have the stuff to get where you need to get, to be where you want to be. But it all comes from knowing you and writing the stuff down. Because when you write it down, you can see what you need, what you don't need, what you need to do, what you don't need to do. Less is more. Like you can cut down 3 years of shucking and jiving and present yourself. I mean, you can. And that's what you need to do. And then, but if you don't, have all of the skills, like be patient. Patient is key. Gather the skills, gather the knowledge, as you continue to be, hi, hi. Yes, I did that report. Make it known. Make it known you know how to do these things. You know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, because you want to do it. All of that as you build yourself. Because at the end of the day, you could take that with you. If they don't respect, if your company doesn't respect or want to promote or grow, whatever, all of that you did, you could take with you. So don't worry about all of that. It's just, but that's the most important thing. Write down what's important to you. Write down where you see yourself, how you see yourself, where you want to be, um, and plan it out. And then execute everything. I always say that you plan and you execute. Just go over those things, right? Break down what's important, break down how you are viewed, where you see yourself 5, 10 years, write down your plan of how you would get there and execute. But it all starts with you. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. People used to say that. I'm like, what are you talking about? But that's true. You don't know where you're going or where you want to be if you don't know where you've been. With that, that concludes another episode of GME Admin Insights. And thank you for joining me today. Keep the gears of GME turning because your growth matters.